Here we go, people. We're back with another Dark Side of the Ring review.
Oh, yeah, boy.
And this time around, we're going to be doing a review on the Brutus Beefcake. This one's Season 5, Episode 4, and it's called Saving Face, the Brutus Beefcake story.
Yeah.
I like how they call it Saving Face.
Yeah.
Literally, that's what they had to do.
Dude, a lot of people in the comment board on that video are saying that they could have said that more better, like have a better title, because,
Right.
I mean, they truly did have to save
His face, yeah. He got trashed big time.
Yeah, man. I mean,
in that accident he had.
I remember hearing about that, years ago when it actually happened.
Yeah.
But when I first heard about it, like, the way they described it years ago is that they were both parasailing and
Right.
ran into the other, but
That's not. Yeah, he was in the water.
yeah, he wasn't even in, like, he was just in the water guiding, like, setting all up for this woman to parasail and
Right.
sailing
And got hit, but we'll get into that. But let me start off by, let's see, saying here, he was born Brutus Beefcake. His real name is Edward Harrison, and he was born in 1957.
yeah.
Says he was, let's see, professional wrestling career. He started off in 1977.
Yeah.
So he was pretty young, and he was like best friends with Hulk Hogan because they like kind of grew up together, I believe.
Yeah. He said in the show that they grew up like 8 blocks apart.
Right.
Like,
Didn't they also go to the same school and all that?
yeah. I like the way Brutus described it, though, when he first hung out with Hulk back in the day. That he's like, he was that pesky kid that always hung around that you really didn't want hanging around. And
Right.
he said that he eventually won Hulk over because he just would not, like, he wouldn't, stop. He wouldn't go away. He just, like, he took it all and just to show, like, hey, man, I want to be a part of this.
Right on.
And that was cool to find out. Like, they actually, when they started their careers, they were actually trying to make everybody believe that they were brothers.
Yeah. They were talking about that.
Yeah. Calling them, what was it? Terry Boulder and Ed Boulder, the Boulder brothers.
Yeah. Yep, they were billed as brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, they were like, that was cool, man. Like, back in the day, fucking Brutus the Barber Beefcake. That's one of the freaking, that had to be, like, I know it was a gimmick that got him over, but man, it's such a silly name.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be called Brutus Beefcake.
Yeah, I mean, especially going from, like, to start off being called Brutus Beefcake,
and then
called Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Right. Which he talks about in the Dark Side of the Ring, which there was an incident that actually I had no idea about when he was he was first known as Brutus Beefcake for a while.
Yeah.
Then he tag teamed with Greg Valentine, right?
Yeah, and they were a pretty awesome tag team, man. Like, back in the day when I first started watching wrestling, I remember those matches that they had with, like, the British Bulldogs at WrestleMania 2 and what was it, like, WrestleMania 3, they fought the Rougeos. And what was weird is, like, I really didn't go back and watch that match, and I didn't understand, like, the whole, like, breakup between Greg Valentine and Brutus Beefcake, because
they were going strong at that time, right?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about, you go back and watch the match, there was no mishaps, there was no, like, this, they actually, if I'm not mistaken, they won the match.
Yeah.
But yet, then Greg Valentine and their manager just, they left on one of them little ring things they had taken him to the ring,
right,
back and leaving, and they just, like, left Brutus in the ring, and Brutus standing there like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, so they didn't even really create, like, some sort of angle with the with that I know of.
They went from that angle, and then later that night when they had Roddy Piper versus Adrian Adonis, that's when they had him come out to help Piper win, and Piper put Adrian to sleep, and then while he was asleep, Brutus went in there and fucking, that's the whole start of this barber gimmick.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that shocked me that I was talking about when he first found out that he was going to be called Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Yeah,
he claims that he flipped out, went into the locker room, and just trashed the whole fucking place.
He basically said that he was like breaking everything that he could
get his hands on. Yeah. And Hulk Hogan had to go in there and calm him down.
Yeah, and Hulk even described it as like, dude, this could be a fun gimmick. Because Bruce was like saying like, what the fuck does a barber do with wrestling?
Yeah, that made me laugh when I watched that part. And he's right. What the fuck does a barber have to do with, wrestling? But, but it actually worked.
Yeah, because Hulk Hogan explained like, hey brother, this gimmick can be fun,
Yeah,
you can go out there, wrestle. You could put the sleeper hold on somebody
and cut some of their hair off,
and then you'll give him a haircut,
right. Which he did.
I remember growing up, and every time I felt so bad for every jobber that he wrestled, because it's like, man, he's gonna cut his hair, and like. Some jobbers he'd just give like a little haircut to, but there's times like I remember one incident that he fought a jobber, and like he basically shaved the jobber's whole head, and he would always do the thing where he would wake you up afterwards, and then he would stand in front of you with that fucking mirror, so you could totally see yourself like bald. Like
that's crazy.
Like, man, that's fucked. Not only you shave the man's head, but you're gonna totally rub it in, like, oh, look at you.
Yeah. I'm sure he did that to plenty of jobbers.
Yeah, you know what's funny? He did that to a lot of jobbers, but he didn't really do that to a lot of like main talent people. Like I remember he had a feud with Ron Bass. And he did get, wound up putting him to sleep one time and shaving his head. But
that's probably because Vince didn't want his main guys' hairs cut.
Yeah, he did cut Jimmy Hart's hair.
Right. But
yeah, I mean, I do feel you on that. That
I would, if I was running a wrestling business, I wouldn't want my top guys' hairs cut. I want them to remain the same. So as far as jobbers go, I'd say anything goes. Do what you want.
Could you imagine him back in the day doing something like that to like Macho Man Randy Savage or somebody like that?
Yeah, right. I would, yeah. I don't think it would happen.
No, I mean,
I don't even think Macho Man would go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of the guys back in those days would have went for that.
Right.
Like,
especially you're wrestling every night. You don't want to be wrestling with some hair gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he made his mark in the '80s, and then at some point, we were talking beforehand. He was in WrestleMania 3, right?
Yeah, WrestleMania 3 is when he, like I said, he had a tag match. He started off working a tag match with Greg Valentine against the Rougeaus.
Right.
And then that whole deal where Valentine just split on him. But then later on in the night, when Piper fought Adrian Adonis, he came out there to like wake up Roddy Piper, who was out, and got him to get his second win, go after Adrian, and put him in the sleeper hold and put him out. And then that's when Brutus started his whole barber gimmick.
Right. I was saying here that. Well, WrestleMania 6, Beefcake became the first person to pin Mr. Perfect on national television.
Yeah.
During the spring of, during the spring and summer of 1990, Beefcake was involved in the Intercontinental Championship tournament, and along with his opponent Dino Bravo, were counted out for the first round. And it says Beefcake was scheduled for a WrestleMania 6 rematch against Perfect for
they had a match at WrestleMania 6.
Right, but I guess it was going to go to SummerSlam.
Yeah, they were saying at SummerSlam, even Brutus said it, that he was scheduled to win the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam.
Right, but that's when that whole that whole accident happened, which I guess we can get into now. Is that he had one day off, because these wrestlers are wrestling every day.
Yeah,
and then
you're spending your one day off freaking at a
drinking and partying.
Yeah.
Where were they at? I don't remember where they said they were at.
They were at the beach house.
Okay, yeah, and I guess for during the day,
they had a boat and they were going around giving everybody taking everybody parasailing.
Right, and the guy at the end of the day, the guy didn't want to do no more, but then a few people came in and one of the girls wanted to and demanded it or kept asking, and I guess it pissed the boat driver off.
Yeah, he was like, "Fine, let's do it." And they were getting everybody set up, and he was even explaining like he was in the water directing, what to do, let them know when they're ready, because this is at night when they parasail, the sail didn't have, there was no wind. There was no wind to carry it,
Right.
And so they had to have a couple guys get on each side and, kind of hold it up so they can help, send her.
Right.
And Bruce was directing traffic, and I guess the guy got pissed off and just took off too early.
Right. Probably obviously he must have went pretty fast.
Yeah, because he said without any warning, before anybody could say, "Hey, look out." You see him, he just got blasted, dude.
Right. Well, he had his back towards her, but he had turned around right as her knee rammed right into his face.
Yeah, and the thing is that she tried to pick her knees up to try to clear.
Right.
And they said that's if she would have just left, had her legs straight out, or probably just she would have hit her legs against his face, and
right, it wouldn't have been as bad.
Yeah, it might have still been bad, but I don't think it would have been bad.
Yeah, not as bad as what the hell happened to him.
Because they said her knees drove right into his the center of his face.
Yeah, and he did a backflip in the fucking ocean, in the water.
And how about the graphic nature that they showed?
Yeah. They showed a picture of it.
No, I'm just saying they showed a reenactment of a person with the blood just pouring out of their face.
And the upper part of his face broke, so it kind of fell down to the lower part of his face. And he didn't pass out. He didn't get knocked out either. He got up and he was holding his mouth together.
Yeah, he was sticking his hand in his mouth so he could talk
right. Which he couldn't barely do.
No,
and it's a good thing the doctor said that worked on, because he was in the episode as well. He says it's a good thing she hit him right in the middle, because if she would have hit him on the left or the right,
he would have lost vision.
Yeah, he would have lost eyesight, and he almost did go blind.
Yeah, how about the fact that they said that Hulk was taking him for a walk in the hospital and his eyeball popped out?
Yeah, that was trippy, and they had to lay him back down and put his eye back in. I thought, man, that's horrible.
Oh,
he was out for a while, and almost passed away. You know, and remember where they had Sherry come in?
Yeah, he's like, scary Sherry. Right. I remember that.
And she freaked out and left. They had to pull her out of the hospital room.
They were saying don't react. Right. And they said it took one look, and you see her just ah.
Yeah, she freaked out, and he said she was crying and very upset.
Yeah, I mean, that would suck to see somebody.
They showed one picture, but his nose was really messed up and blue and shit. They didn't really show anything other than that. I would have liked to have seen more pictures to see exactly, how bad it was. I would assume it was really bad.
The way way they explained it, I'm sure it had to be pretty fucking bad.
Yeah. When your face gets totally demolished like that.
Yeah.
I mean, damn, man. What a talk about, like, bad luck.
Yeah.
You know, you're one day off, and you get totally destroyed. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the cool thing about it, like, he made it through that and eventually made a comeback, but he didn't come back as a wrestler. Eventually, Hulk got him, a spot to come back and have his own like talking segment.
Yeah, which was what was that called?
The Barbershop.
The Barbershop, right? He had that for a little while.
Yeah, and you know what? That Barbershop was notorious for several things that went on. Like, that's when Shawn Michaels broke up his tag team with Marty Jannetty, and that was where he turned heel on him.
Right, and I remember when he got kicked like that. He connected pretty well, because I always thought, damn, you look like you got kicked pretty hardcore with those fucking boots on, dude.
And then throwing him head first through the fucking window, and I always remember that because I remember Bobby Heenan's commentary. He made like such a funny comment about it when he slammed Jannetty's head through the window. Bobby Heenan like, oh my God, Jannetty just tried to jump through the window. Did you see that? And that's like, would you say that? That's not what happened.
Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, he was only, and then once those segments were over, which they wanted to scrap that, he, I guess, left the WWF at that time. He went into the independent circuit for a while, and he went into WCW, because that's where Hulk Hogan went, so he went with him.
But yeah, it was funny, they showed how the Barbershop ended with fucking Sid.
Yeah, smashing the whole thing.
Yeah, because I was setting up him and Hogan's match for WrestleMania 8.
Right. So that was the end of that.
Did you notice Sid at the end, though? Like, he was smashing a bunch of shit, but he smashed, like, a bottle of shaving cream or whatever. You noticed it was all over his fucking face. When he turned to like, oh, God!
Yeah, that's on him. But Hogan went to WCW.
Yeah, and of course, Brutus followed.
Brutus followed, but man, they gave him all these different gimmicks.
Yeah, the man had 4 gimmicks in just over a year time span.
Yeah, and none of them, well, maybe 1 or 2 worked, but some of them did not work.
To me, his Butcher gimmick, did fairly well. I mean, he main evented Starrcade '94 against Hulk Hogan with the Butcher gimmick. Right.
And I liked how he said in the Dark Side of the Ring when they were interviewing him, he was like, "Yeah, they gave me all these gimmicks," and then at some point,
he started taking it like
at some point he had left, or maybe Eric Bischoff got rid of him, but he said he lost a bunch of weight, he muscled up really well, he grew his hair out.
The Disciple.
Yeah, he came back and for a while, and they didn't even know who the hell he was.
Yeah, because he changed his look so much. I remember when I first saw him, he came out to help Hogan in a match, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And then, but then when you see a close up of his face, you can really tell, like, holy shit, that's Brutus Beefcake.
Yeah. So he was back in the WCW for, I guess, a little while, but then that didn't last forever, that's for sure. It says return to WCW from 1998 to 1999 as the Disciple.
Yeah.
So he wasn't there long,
Which I don't get, because, when he came back as the Disciple, to me, that's when he looked like his absolute best.
Yeah, great shape.
Great shape, and the way, did you notice he actually did a Stone Cold Stunner? Like, that was his finishing move in that time span at WCW. But they called it, the Apocalypse or something.
Oh.
But you could pretty much I mean, you know, it was like a variation, but he still like dropped him in like a stunner deal.
Right.
And I was just like, wow, you can't come up with your own original move. You got to use the fucking Stone Cold Stunner.
Yeah, I don't know. And at some point in the episode, I guess, you know, because Hulk Hogan and Brutus were best friends, but you know his wife was in the episode, and they never get into exactly why, but they said it was because of her that they're no longer friends.
Yeah, which they don't understand, because
she
she said is that you know, she went and met Hulk one time, and said, you know, Hulk was being really nice to her, was saying nothing but good things about her, and this and that, and said that the next time they went over, it was like, she said somebody like hit a switch, and Hulk was just acting like very cold towards her, and and she was even thinking like, okay, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? Like, what's going on here? Like,
yeah, and even Hulk Hogan admitted, because they had some sort of audio, and Hulk Hogan was saying he had something to do with his past wives or something.
Yeah, and so he had to cut Beefcake loose. That's what he told somebody. I think it was B. Brian Blair that he said that to.
And I thought that was odd. And they had what's his name, Knobs, in there as well, talking. He said no comment about it.
Yeah, because, well, of course, because, you know, he's still one of Hulk Hogan's boys.
Right. And so
Knobs even started to do, like, you know, when Brutus left, like, he became, like, the new Brutus Beefcake there for a while. Everywhere Hogan went, noticed that Brian Knobs was there, like TNA, Hogan Knows Best. It's like, oh, so you pulled the new Brutus Beefcake role, huh?
Well, he's been friends with Knobs for a long time.
Well, I know, and Knobs is a pretty funny motherfucker.
I mean, but also they were saying when Beefcake was inducted in the 2019 Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that was the last time he ever spoke to Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, he was inducted by Hulk Hogan. That was the last time they spoke together. Which
okay. You know something I didn't get about that thing about when he was working as in that toll booth thing.
Oh yeah, for like 12 years or something.
Yeah, or he said he worked there, but he said that he had a little baggie of. He was saying it was something.
I think he was saying something like powdered aspirin.
Yeah, something like that. But then, you know, Greg Valentine and other people were saying it was cocaine.
It probably was cocaine.
Because they said, you know, the way when you opened the bag, it just made like a poof deal, like.
Right, and it freaked one of the girls out.
And Greg Valentine was like, it wasn't anthrax, it was cocaine.
Right.
But then again, you know, Brutus and even his wife was saying it was, you know, it wasn't, because, you know, it's like, okay, if it was cocaine, there was no charges filed. You know, he didn't go to jail. Right. But it was just an embarrassing deal because they thinking it was anthrax. Right. And they had to stop the damn train. And he said that he got fired because of that. And he said he couldn't have been more happier.
Yeah, because he hated that job. He only did it for his kids, you know.
Well, yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, who the hell carries powdered aspirin? Think about it.
I don't know.
I mean, I would just take aspirin if I had a headache or something, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can't say one way or another. But my feeling is I'm gonna agree with Greg Valentine's what he said. That it was cocaine.
I don't know.
But I don't know. I wasn't there, so allegedly, you know, it was one or the other. But I mean, all in all, it was a pretty cool episode. I mean, not as good, I would say, as some of the earlier ones.
Well, I mean, I say it wasn't to me, because, like, you know, a lot of the other ones, were pretty sad and tragic.
Yeah, were more hardcore. I mean, even though he has had that one incident, was pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
You know, he almost passed away from that.
Well, I know.
You know, so it was a close call for him.
it just sucked that that happened right at where his he was going to become a true champion.
Right.
He was a tag team champion years ago with Greg Valentine, but he was finally going to win his first singles title.
Right.
And that's when that parasail accident happened. And he was saying, he's like, everything I had got taken away, and I couldn't get it back.
Yeah, which is unfortunate,
Yeah, that sucks. And I found it was cool to find out that WrestleMania 9, that match he had with Hulk Hogan against DiBiase and Erwin R. Shyster, like Hulk hooked him up with that deal.
Yeah, to probably help him out so he can have some money.
Yeah.
Because who you can only imagine how much the hospital bill was from all that surgery and shit from that accident he had.
Yeah, that's why he came back. Was like I said, had that talk show for a bit, and then when that idea was scrapped, sometime later they had him and Hulk team up, and
right. So I'm not much of a fan of Hulk Hogan, but I mean, I think it's cool what he did for his friend there, helping him out from time to time. Yeah. They did grow up together and stuff, so.
It's funny the way I think about Hulk Hogan now, and knowing all the stuff that, all the backstage politic bull crap that, that doesn't work for me, brother.
Right.
Like that, but back when I was a kid growing up, like I thought of Hulk Hogan as like a real life superhero.
Well, a lot of kids did.
Yeah, and it's just bad when you think of him like that back then, and then hear about wow, he was really a scumbag.
Right.
And
he seems like he churns on people from time to time, or I don't know, because I don't know him like that, but.
I mean, like I said, it's not just. I mean, when you have, lots of people saying that about Hulk Hogan, how, he used a lot of politics in wrestling.
Right.
Like he wanted to pick and choose who he lost to, and
which is rare.
Yeah.
You don't really see Hulk Hogan lose.
No.
But
if Hulk doesn't win the match, you notice he loves to steal the damn thunder from other people.
Right.
And he did that to Ric Flair, 1992 Royal Rumble.
Right. Ain't that something?
Ric Flair won the whole deal, won the title, but then Hulk, he couldn't even celebrate. Like Hulk Hogan chased him off like, no, brother, gotta get my 20-minute pose down.
Yeah. I gotta be on TV.
Even though I didn't win, I gotta close the show, brother. I gotta close the show.
Ain't that something? But yeah, it's too bad that Hulk and Brutus is no longer friends at the moment. I mean, who knows? They may become friends at some point.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
You never know. But all in all, what'd you think of the episode? I thought it was good.
It was cool. I mean, growing up being a Brutus the Barber Beefcake fan like I was too back then, it's just sad to see his career just come to a halt because of that accident. Right,
and he could never reflame the fire that he once had on that level. I mean, he came back, to wrestle and all that, but he never
became
that.
I think the biggest he ever got after his comeback was main eventing with Hulk Hogan in WCW.
Yeah.
That was, but besides that, he just was in mostly mid-card deals, even through all those gimmicks, the Butcher, the Man with No Name, Zodiac.
Right. It's come on.
I'll never forget his character of Zodiac. The only thing he would do would come out and be like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes. Somebody would yell and be like, yes, and he'd be like, no, yes, no.
That's great. At least he got paid.
Yeah.
I'm sure he got paid all right in WCW.
Yeah, then they quit that angle and had him come in and repackaged him as the Booty Man.
Yeah, that's crazy. I wouldn't be called. I'm sorry, but if they were going to say, we're going to call you the Booty Man, I'd be like, yeah, it's nice knowing you guys. I'll work for another wrestling company.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not doing that shit.
Even if you got, like, say they brought you in and it's like, all right, your gimmick, your name is going to be Brutus Beefcake.
Yeah. I think Vince's wife had come up with the name.
Yeah, Beefcake, because it's like, got those beefcakes.
Yeah. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up, guys.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty cool episode. Check it out. And, yeah, heck yeah. But we'll see you next time. And that is it for now. Peace out.